Why did Africa boycott the 1966 World Cup? And did it help pave the way for a record 10 African teams to reach the World Cup 60 years later? Stay with me. I'm Samantha Johnson, and this is Game Theory, where sport is more than just a game. This is probably one of the most overlooked political stories in World Cup history. Because when you think of the 1966 World Cup, you think of England, Bobby Moore, and football coming home. But what's not talked about is the fact that no African team played at that World Cup. And that's not down to them failing to qualify. It's because they refused to go. Let me set the scene. You see, in the 60s, many African nations had only recently gained independence from European colonial rule. Leaders such as the Ghanaian president Kwame Nkrumah were championing Pan-African unity, while newly independent nations were demanding a greater presence on the world stage. And that included football. At the same time, tensions were already growing between African football leaders and FIFA president Stanley Roos, an Englishman who was criticised for his Eurocentric views on the game and for opposing South Africa's ban from international football during the Apartheid era. Then came the final outrage. FIFA had allocated no guaranteed spots for Africa at the World Cup. Instead, African nations had to compete alongside teams from Asia and Oceania for one spot at the finals. 3 continents competing for a single spot. Now, understandably, African football associations saw this as unfair because Europe and South America were given more places, while entire continents were effectively treated as an afterthought. So in October 1964, 15 African nations withdrew from qualifications in protest. They stood firm. No African teams at the 1966 World Cup, and the boycott worked. In 1968, FIFA eventually changed course and awarded Africa its own guaranteed place. And that paved the way for Morocco to qualify for Mexico in 1970, becoming the first African nation to reach the finals through an African qualification route. So that boycott was about more than just football. It was about a continent demanding the right to compete on equal terms, on merit, not as a sideshow or as an afterthought. A reminder that some of the biggest victories in football can sometimes happen off the pitch.